Hello and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This is a very different kind of Thanksgiving. Sometimes I feel a little odd saying happy, but happy is something only we can determine. I am so glad to be able to be with you here today. If you're watching, that means you heeded the advice of the experts and stayed close to home on this Thanksgiving, which is not so easy to do. I thought we might take a look at Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. And it starts from the beginning, your eyes open in the morning. And I know that's my favorite time of the day. And there's a quote that I love, which I thought I would present to you on this day. Um, this is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. A beautiful quote by Maya Angelou. And isn't that really true? Each day now with COVID, it seems to me that there are more and more things that I notice that I'm thankful for. And that's really the topic of today's program. Now, also like you, these are pictures of my family from Thanksgiving past. We will not be congregating. I'll be here at Newbridge. We will not be congregating as a family, some 30 plus strong down at Hull and having the usual trappings of food and turkey tastings and wine tastings and walks on the beach. Our Thanksgiving is going to be on Zoom. Mixed feelings, which is again why I say let's look at this from a different standpoint, because the one thing that is true is that all things change, and this will change too. So as we reflect on perhaps years past, maybe we can reflect on what can make this time a little bit more meaningful, which is a good time to bring a poem that perhaps you can tell me if you think that there's meaning on this day, a poem called Mindful by Mary Oliver. Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise with such teachings as these, the untrimmable light of the world, the ocean shine, the prayers that are made out of grass, the beauty that we see around us. This poem is uh, a little bit about what I'm going to be discussing also, not just about today, but also about what I want to talk about today with my presentation, as well as the two TED Talks that I'll be sharing with you all as well. And maybe at that point, this poem might have a little bit more meaning because it's all about thanks, giving, thankfulness. Thankful to be looking out the window right now at this absolutely magnificent uh, property that you all are blessed to live on, and I am blessed to work at, because with each tree, there are so many things that COVID has taught me about appreciating what I see and what I do, things that I just kind of took for granted in the very, very rush of our daily lives. And so let's reflect on that. Let's look at how we can make each day just a little bit more meaningful. Now, the thing I wanted to stick to is our TED Talks, because I know that you're all very interested in these TED Talks. And it just so happens that one of the talks that really underscores the message that I'd like to share with you today is from a 94-year-old Benedictine monk, and his name is Brother David Steindl-Rast. His TED Talk, this TED Talk, has received well over 4 million views because of its message, its meaning. I have listened to this and numerous interviews that he has done, in the sound of his voice, the intonation, the tone, that just exudes grace, peace, and calm. But the title of this talk, which we will talk about more after, it's not happiness that makes us grateful. It's gratefulness that makes us happy. I can I can attest to that. More to come on that. But right now, please listen to Brother David Stendal Rost.
There's something you know about me, something very personal. And there's something I know about every one of you that's very central to your concerns. There's something that we know about everyone we meet anywhere in the world on the street that is the very mainspring of whatever they do and whatever they put up with. And that is that all of us want to be happy. In this, we are all together. How we imagine our happiness, that differs from one another. But it's already a lot that we have all in common, that we want to be happy. Now, my topic is gratefulness. How is the connection between happiness and gratefulness? Many people would say, well, that's very easy. When you are happy, you're grateful. But think again. Is it really the happy people that are grateful? We all know quite a number of people who have everything that it would take to be happy, and they are not happy because they want something else, or they want more of the same. And we all know people who have lots of misfortune that we ourselves would not want to have. And they are deeply happy. They radiate happiness. We are surprised. Why? Because they are grateful. So it is not happiness that makes us grateful. It's gratefulness that makes us happy. If you think it's happiness that makes you grateful, think again. It's gratefulness that makes you happy. Now, we can ask, what really do we mean by gratefulness? And how does it work? I appeal to your own experience. We all know from experience how it goes. We experience something that's valuable to us. Something's given to us that's valuable to us. And it's really given. These two things have to come together. It has to be something valuable, and it's a real gift. You haven't bought it, you haven't earned it, you haven't traded it in, you haven't worked for it, it's just given to you. And when these two things come together, something that's really valuable to me, and I realize it's freely given, then gratefulness spontaneously rises in my heart, happiness spontaneously rises in my heart. That's how gratefulness happens. Now, the key to all this is that we can not only experience this once in a while, we can not only have grateful experiences, we can be people who live gratefully. Grateful living, that is the thing. And how can we live gratefully? By experiencing, by becoming aware that every moment is a given moment, as we say. It's a gift. You haven't earned it. You haven't brought it about in any way. You have no way of assuring that there will be another moment given to you. And yet, that's the most valuable thing that can ever be given to us. This moment with all the opportunity that it contains. If we didn't have this present moment, we wouldn't have any opportunity to do anything or experience anything. And this moment is a gift. It's a given moment, as we say. Now, we say the gift within this gift is really the opportunity. What you're really grateful for is the opportunity, not the thing that is given to you, because if that thing were somewhere else and you didn't have the opportunity to enjoy it, to do something with it, you wouldn't be grateful for it. Opportunity is the gift within every gift. And we have this saying, opportunity knocks only once. Well, think again. Every moment is a new gift, over and over again. And if you miss the opportunity of this moment, another moment is given to us, and another moment. We can avail ourselves of this opportunity, or we can miss it. And if we avail ourselves of the opportunity, it is the key to happiness. We hold the master key to our happiness in our own hands. Moment by moment, we can be grateful for this gift. Does that mean that we can be grateful for everything? Certainly not. We cannot be grateful for violence, for war, for oppression, for exploitation. On the personal level, we cannot be grateful for the loss of a friend, for unfaithfulness, for bereavement. But I didn't say we can be grateful for everything. I said we can be grateful in every given moment for the opportunity. And even when we are confronted with something that is terribly difficult, we can rise to this occasion and respond to the opportunity that is given to us. It isn't as bad as it might seem. Actually, when you look at it and experience it, you find that most of the time what is given to us is opportunity to enjoy. And we only miss it because we are rushing through life and we are not stopping to see the opportunity. But once in a while, something very difficult is given to us. And when this difficult thing occurs to us, it's a challenge to rise to that opportunity. And we can rise to it by learning something, which is sometimes painful. Learning patience, for instance. We have been told that the road to peace is not a sprint, but is more like a marathon. That takes patience. That's difficult. It may be to stand up for your opinion, to stand up for your conviction. That's an opportunity that is given to us. To learn, to suffer, to stand up. All these opportunities are given to us. But they are opportunities, and those who avail themselves of those opportunities are the ones that we admire. They make something out of life. And those who fail get another opportunity. We always get another opportunity. That's the wonderful richness of life. So, how can we find a method that will harness this? How can each one of us find a method for living gratefully, not just once in a while being grateful, but moment by moment to be grateful? How can we do it? It's a very simple method. It's so simple that it's actually what we were told as children when we learned to cross the street. Stop, look, go. That's all. But how often do we stop? We rush through life. We don't stop. We miss the opportunity because we don't stop. We have to stop. We have to get quiet. And we have to build stop signs into our lives. When I was in Africa some years ago and then came back, I noticed water. In Africa, where I was, I didn't have drinkable water. Every time I turned on the faucet, I was overwhelmed. Every time I clicked on the light, I was so grateful. It made me so happy But after a while, this wears off. So I put little stickers on the light switch and on the water faucet, and every time I turn on, water. So you leave it up to your own imagination. You can find whatever works best for you, but you need stop signs in your life. And when you stop, then the next thing is to look. You look, you open your eyes, you open your ears, you open your nose, you open all your senses for this wonderful richness that is given to us. If there's no end to it, that is what life is all about, to enjoy what is given to us. But then we can also open our hearts for the opportunities also to help others, to make others happy, because nothing makes us more happy than when all of us are happy. And when we open our hearts to the opportunities invite us to do something. And that is the third. Stop, look, and then go and really do something. And what we can do is whatever life offers to you in that present moment. Mostly it's the opportunity, enjoy. Sometimes it's something more difficult, but whatever it is, if we take this opportunity, go with it. We are creative. Those are the creative people. And that little stop, look, go is such a potent seed that it can revolutionize our world. Because we are at the present moment in the middle of a change of consciousness. And you will be surprised I'm always surprised when I hear how many times this word gratefulness and gratitude comes up. Everywhere you find it, a grateful airline, a restaurant gratefulness, a cafe gratefulness, a wine that is gratefulness. Yes, I've even come across a toilet paper that's brand is called thank you. There is a wave of gratefulness because people are becoming aware how important this is and how this can change our world. It can change our world in immensely important ways. Because if you're grateful, you're not fearful. And if you're not fearful, you're not violent. If you're grateful, you act out of a sense of enough and not of a sense of scarcity, and you're willing to share. If you're grateful, you're enjoying the differences between people, and you are respectful to everybody. And that changes this power pyramid under which we live. And it doesn't make for equality, but it makes for equal respect, and that is the important thing. The future of the world will be a network, not a pyramid turned upside down. The revolution of which I'm speaking is a non-violent revolution, and it's so revolutionary that it even revolutionizes the very concept of a revolution. Because the normal revolution is one where the power pyramid is turned upside down, and those who were on the bottom are now on the top and are doing exactly the same thing that the ones did before. What we need is a networking of smaller and smaller groups who know one another, who interact with one another, and that is a grateful world. A grateful world is a world of joyful people. Grateful people are joyful people. And joyful people, the more and more joyful people there are, the more and more we'll have a joyful world. We have a network for grateful living, and it has mushroomed. We couldn't understand it why it mushroomed. We have an opportunity for people to light a candle for when they are grateful for something. And there have been 15 million candles lit in 1 decade. People are becoming aware that a grateful world is a happy world. And we all have the opportunity, but it's simple, stop, look, go, to transform the world, to make it a happy place. And that is what I hope for us. And if this has contributed a little to making you want to do the same, stop, look, go. Thank you.
Isn't he wonderful? Now, if you want to contact me, I have some other things that you can listen to, podcasts, more with Brother David Stendal Rost, just to let you know the books that he's written: Gratefulness, The Heart of Prayer, The Music of Silence, Words of Common Sense, and Belonging to the Universe, writings of Brother Stendal Rost. So let's recap for a second. Stop. Appreciate this moment. Observe your surroundings. So easy is it for us to take for granted the fact that the apartment is clean and it looks nice. But have you really stopped to appreciate some of the things that you've gathered over the years and the memories that those have created? Or looked out the window and looked at the changing scenery here, um, and really taken care to be grateful for all of the beauty that surrounds us, and to recall it. Listen, look, and behold. Every moment is a unique opportunity to find something new, to change your thoughts from sad to grateful. I know that we all have our problems and we can't always be happy, but try to avail yourself of the joy in any given moment. Gratitude and happiness is a choice, just like negativity and sadness. And if we can embrace a little bit of gratitude in our lives and the lives of others, it does make for a more buoyant spirit. So, some opportunities of gratitude. Well, take out those cell phones that you've come to love and take a photo every day of something you're grateful for, something you see beauty in. It could be your spouse. It could be that tree outside your window, the dog that barks as it goes by in the morning. Look at the beauty in this world. Look at your eyes in the mirror and see the beauty and the wisdom. It all starts with just maybe 10 minutes at the end of every day to reflect on the things that you're grateful for. Write them down, share them with your with your with your children, your neighbors. And for me, the things that I'm grateful for are that right now, I'm grateful to be able to share this program with you all. No, I'm not with my family, but if this can bring somebody a smile or a laugh or a way to look at things a little bit differently, then for me, I'm grateful to be presenting this to you. I'm grateful that Nancy is here in the background and she is listening to make sure that I do a good job and get it done right. You'll notice that in the moments and objects, um, you may have otherwise missed if you didn't take the time to think about what it is that makes the moment special. I've really started applying this when I start to feel a sense of negativity or judgment. Instead, I'll look at the fact of something that I might have taken for granted. Think to that for a little while, and you'll see where your mind shifts. Think back to what you heard from Brother Stendal Ross. Well, for me, also, I like to take out my cell phone and take pictures. Now, I'm going to tell you that this was taken on our grounds here at Newbridge on the Charles. What are the chances of me being able to captivate this in a very busy day, rushing here, there, and everywhere? If I hadn't taken the time to notice what was around me, I never would have noticed this butterfly. Instead, I'd be running from building to building or a number of other things, but I took the time to pay attention as I was walking, and saw this butterfly out of my eye and stood and took a picture. And if that doesn't bring gratitude, I don't know what does. We each have something that brings us joy. For me, it could be the lily pads in Crystal Lake in Newton, or the beautiful way the sun, when it's a blue sky, if you close your eyes and you can feel and you can see that white ball of brilliance, if you close your eyes, beating down on you, just going through you, that beautiful ray of sunshine. Or there could be Lucy. And what is Lucy? Lucy is this tree. Lucy is this tree, and I have a writing class that I do with our residents in assisted living. And we've taken the time to, in one of our assignments, we're looking at the changing of nature. And this tree, Lucy, we picked Lucy to watch Lucy change through the seasons. And one of my favorite pictures, um, this is from last Hanukkah, our beautiful Hanukkah gathering. Um, One of our residents and his wife, just watching them hold hands after 65 years of marriage. They didn't realize it because one was living in the healthcare center and one was living in assisted living. But you'll notice that even though they were apart, they both wore the same color sweater. They both, without knowing, wore the same color sweater and still marveled in how much holding each other's hand meant to them. One of those spouses is no longer with us due to COVID. And this is another reason why this picture just meant so much to me, just sitting there watching them hold hands. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing that I'm grateful I took a picture for. But you all can take pictures of whatever it is you see out there, but you got to take the concerted effort. Something else that would be wonderful, take time to look people in the eye and really say thank you. In this picture, I took this 2 weeks ago. Donna Scherer, who is one of our culinary supervisors in assisted living, and Seymour Patolsky, one of our wonderful residents. We do something called Sweet Saturday, where we deliver something sweet and delicious to our residents. And the smile on his face when he opened the door is priceless. How they're looking at each other. It added so much meaning that we would be able to go out and do these things on Saturdays and also on Tuesdays right now too. Um, but look at the look in both of their eyes, gratitude. They haven't really seen much of each other. So to be able to just share and open the door and see one another, what a great thing. Look at that smile. Look at the way they're looking at one another. Take time to just say thank you. Thank you to your friend. Thank you to a spouse. Thank you to somebody who might have cleaned your apartment or handed you something from culinary. Thank you goes a long way. Now, the next, what I hope to be inspirational video for you all is from Louis Schwartzberg. He was born in Brooklyn in 1950. Both his parents were Holocaust survivors. And Louis Schwartzberg is an American director, producer, and cinematographer. He is recognized as a pioneer in high-end time-lapse cinematography. He is the only cinematographer in the world, as of now, who's been shooting time-lapse film 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, continuously for over 3 decades. Schwartzberg is a visual artist who focuses on the connections between humans and the subtleties of nature and the environment. So a little bit more on gratitude, thankfulness, nature, and how we can appreciate more. Louis Schwartzberg.
When I graduated UCLA, I moved to Northern California, and I lived in a little town called Elk on the Mendocino coast. And I didn't have a phone or TV, but I had US mail. And life was good back then, if you could remember it. I'd go to the general store for a cup of coffee and a brownie, and I'd ship my film to San Francisco, and lo and behold, 2 days later, it would end up on my front door, which was way better than having to fight the traffic of Hollywood. I didn't have much money, but I had time and a sense of wonder. So I started shooting time-lapse photography. It would take me a month to shoot a 4-minute roll of film because that's all I could afford. I've been shooting time-lapse flowers continuously, nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for over 30 years. And to see them move is a dance I'll never get tired of. Their beauty immerses us with color, taste, touch. It also provides a third of the food we eat. Beauty and seduction is nature's tools for survival because we protect what we fall in love with. It opens our hearts and makes us realize we are a part of nature and we're not separate from it. When we see ourselves in nature, it also connects us to every one of us because it's clear that it's all connected in one. When people see my images, a lot of times they'll say, "Oh my God." Have you ever wondered what that meant? The "oh" means it caught your attention, it makes you present, makes you mindful. The "my" means it connects with something deep inside your soul. It creates a gateway for your inner voice to rise up and be heard. And God is that personal journey we all want to be on, to be inspired, to feel like we're connected to a universe that celebrates life. Did you know that 80% of the information we receive comes through our eyes? And if you compare light energy to musical scales, it would only be one octave that the naked eye could see, which is right in the middle. And aren't we grateful for our brains that can, take this electrical impulse that comes from light energy to create images in order for us to explore our world? And aren't we grateful that we have hearts that can feel these vibrations in order for us to allow ourselves to feel the pleasure and the beauty of nature? Nature's beauty is a gift that cultivates appreciation and gratitude. So I have a gift I want to share with you today, a project I'm working on called Happiness Revealed. And it'll give us a glimpse into that perspective from the point of view of a child and an elderly man of that world.
When I watch TV, it's just some shows that are pretend. And when you explore, you get more imagination than you already had. And when you get more imagination, it makes you want to go deeper in, so you can get more and see beautiful things. Like the path. If it's a path, it could lead you to a beach or something, and it could be beautiful.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now. And the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. We just think of the weather. And even of the weather, we don't think of all the many nuances of weather. We just think of good weather and bad weather. This day, right now, has unique weather. Maybe a kind that will never exactly in that form come again. The formation of clouds in the sky will never be the same that is right now. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. A story that you could never fully fathom. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. We all go back so far. And in this present moment, on this day, all the people you meet, all that life from generations and from so many places all over the world, flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. You turn a faucet and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. It's a gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. So these are just a few of an enormous number of gifts to which we can open your heart. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you, that everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you. Just by your eyes, by your smile, by your touch, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
And before we end, there are some other things that I take pictures of. I take pictures of others appreciating the beauty and grateful for the moment. In the picture to the left, this beautiful bouquet of roses and floral design was created by the woman who's taking it all in, the smell and the beauty that she created. One of our residents, both of these are residents in our assisted living facility and community. And I just love how in the one to our left, where Janet is just breathing in the beauty of this floral arrangement that she's created for our community. And to the right, during Sukkah, I love how Phyllis is just so engaged in looking up as she takes in the sky and the meaning of Sukkah. And so if you see me with my phone, don't worry. If I take a picture, I'll always ask you to sign a release. I will never publish it without your permission. But I so much like to go around our campus and just seeing expressions of gratitude and thankfulness in people's eyes. I think my point has well been taken on this very, very different Thanksgiving, one that I'm sure is weighing heavy on your hearts. Take a moment to think back of some of those gatherings that you've had with friends, with your families and children over the years, and think about those special moments. because the next time we can all get together, you'll have a greater appreciation for that time spent together. And perhaps you'll be able to be a little bit more mindful of that which is around you right now as we go through the next couple of months. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you find thanks and peace on this Thanksgiving, and I look forward to the next time we're together. I'm Bonnie. Take care and have a good afternoon.